Hello, so in this video I would like to share with you how I created this specific image, and also like how I basically create this type of art. They started with when I am using also 3D modeling. In a way it's more like 3D sculpting, but you will see how it's created, and it's also good for me to have it also on video, because I would like to share it more as well, my processes, because many artists are sharing as well their like speed art videos. So I would like to share something like that as well, but I'll also tell you about how I create it, and I know that some people also would be interested to see it. So about this specific image, I got this specific vision about a year ago, and this is basically how she wanted me to portray her. It was just one vision that I got, that she had foxy ears, and one eye that was foxy and glowing, and half of the face was illuminated, and half in or not half, most of herself was in a dark, so she was like coming out of that dark, into light, and in this way. Specifically about like what this is all symbolizing, I am not really sure, but I am open to interpretation later, because it's also like I don't always have to have answers immediately, and I prefer to get them as well, like not push it, like give me like what this means for my followers or something like that, but I also enjoy the process of revealing this kind of dots, and connecting the dots later on. So this one took me like 3 months to create, although it was of course like not like whole 3 months that I was working on it. I was busy with some other stuff that I needed to prefer to work on, and but in a general I think it would take me maybe 2 weeks if I would be able to work on it like more, not necessarily daily, but like let's say 5 days a week. Then I would be able to create it in 2 weeks, and most of the work I finished in August. The biggest part of this art is created in a program that is called ZBrush, and it's for 3D sculpting. And so in this video I would be sharing like the start of that process. I will share the whole process in 3 videos, so this is first part of it. So I start sculpting with the sphere. Basically that's what you can see immediately here, and then I use certain brushes. It's called also brushes, although I am sculpting it in basically 3D program, but it's almost like painting on the this shape, but it's behaving like a clay basically. That's why it's very satisfying, and I can mold it into basically shapes that I want, but of course it can make it more difficult to as well work with it, but it's still like a great way to create this kind of art, because I have full control. This is also what you see is a time lapse of like me working on one object, because you can see there are already eyes, but I edit those eyes later, and so I can create this type of time-lapse only from one object basically. So right now you see me like for example inverting the whole mesh. It's a little bit creepy because I needed to form inside of the mouth where I would put a teeth later. And so yeah, it takes quite a while to get all the shapes, and also geometry is right now on a low resolution. I can hide also part of the geometry if I need to, and sculpt just basic shapes into like a shape, or like features that I want to, but it's still refining. It takes quite a long time to get it right. And yeah, these beginning phases are sometimes like you can doubt like if this is going to look like anything good eventually, but like you have to trust the process. That's what artists say, because in the beginning it always looks weird and not very good. So I had to push through, and I, for example, knew that I wanted to make a smile asymmetric, not symmetric, because I am using also symmetry, like basically what I sculpt on one side is also being sculpted on the other side, but later I will turn that off and basically shape her smile, on one side differently. So yes, right now I'm still, like refining shapes, looking from the distance from it, and seeing, still kind of like moving the nose and all the shapes, how I resonated with it, how it would fit best. And right now you can see me adding ears, so this is time lapse of that object, so I had to restart, program, or so I would record basically just creating the ears in the model. And you can also see that already teeth are in. I placed them there already. And I didn't share that, process, because this is one thing that I stole from basic models that are in ZBrush. There is like a human model there, and it has a whole skeleton, so I always steal it, and then basically as well, shape them in some way, that I want. So with this kind of like part that is not so important, like that's how it would look and so on, I basically take it from somewhere else to help myself. But yeah, rest of the art that I am creating here is me, sculpting it myself, all the details. Of course, I as well use references. For example, for Foxy ears, I also used reference of like pictures I googled of fox ears. And for example, also for neck, I also look at like how neck looks like. And so yeah, you just saw like how I made the smile slightly asymmetric, but I will work on it as well later. And also you can see already that the mesh is already more defined. What I mean is like a resolution is higher, so I added more geometry, and I will go still higher and higher, because for example when I would be making pores, I will need more resolutions to basically add them, because when squares, for example, like of that mesh are too big, then a pore would need to be basically as big as the square, that C. So that's why I later will be adding more as well, that's geometry. You can see also ears, for example, are lower resolution, but I don't need them to be higher resolution because I will be adding fur. And like when I add still more and more geometry, sometimes my program can be lagging, and it would be freezing. With this I actually only experienced that it's kind of like froze and completely like throw me out of the program just once, so that was actually good score. And so yeah, right now I am in not doing in symmetry around the mouth. And when you see me also make part of the face or model dark, it's called masking, and I mask just part that I don't want to influence by sculpting, to just basically protect some parts that I don't want to move how they are, So right now I am also trying to in some way shape a little bit like her chest. Yeah, I was having some issues there, like something was not working properly, so I needed to restart also program, and it was still not working, so I needed to as well try to do it in different way. So I found other brush like how to smooth it, and now I'm adding her boobs. And yeah, this is also good artwork to share this way, because I am not going all over, so I don't need to censor anything. So yeah, like I was also thinking that I could share something else with you. Yeah, okay, like right now I just switch into recording basically my screen, and right now I am adding eyebrows. So eyebrows are generated like fibers. Basically, it's called fiber mesh, and I am just adjusting some settings, so it looks good. And I'm not sure like if these are the first eyebrows I did, because sometimes I have to like I make something, then I try rendering it in other program that I use for rendering, and I realize that it looks terrible, so I need to make another like render and adjust something. So right now I am again like trying to, this is I was trying to like flatten them, and something was also not working. I was trying different mask of the fibers, and so I was going just back and forth with what I was working on. Also I right now hid some parts of the what you saw, just to speed up or like make a program not lag so much, so it doesn't freeze, because then when it's lagging, like reactions of the program, then I can sometimes click on something that I wouldn't want to, and like it just jumps everywhere. So right now I generated also her bangs. I think that it's called bangs. So I got into editing her basically hair. Right now it's just bangs, and I think hair is going to be in next video. And in the next video you will be seeing me working only like through like recording the screen, not this kind of time lapse. And I had to edit a lot of stuff out of it, because it was like hours of video, so I had to really remove a lot of stuff. So we are at the end, and like if you want to support me, you see me right now that I have a coffee page where you can basically support me when I'm doing art that is like not commission, and I'm working on something that's I had like visions of something like that, because I created also for community basically. And if you want to support me and this work, for example, that I made with this portrait, and if you want it, you can as well go there to the coffee, and I have shop there, and you can buy basically print of this artwork. I also shared already 2 other artworks I did this year with this technique, so you can check it out. And I will be adding more, because I have some other art that I would be also recreating with this 3D modeling, because I did them before only with the digital painting, and I would like to make them even better, so I would be recreating. And also I have my own hybrid children that I would like to make, also of course Shayla, and I have so many artworks already like in my mind that I would create. And so far because I needed to find ways to make money, and I was preferring commissions, so I wouldn't be able to work on those things, but I really would like to. And this kind of support is like really helping me to bring those visions to you as well, because I know that I actually believe that it could be even more valuable if I would be working just on stuff for me and for myself, because it would be even deeper, and it would activate other people as well, so it would be really great if you would decide to support me. And you can also check other benefits on a coffee, because I am also doing channeling. I do group channeling where people can ask Shayla or other beings whatever they want, their experiences and stuff like that. So it's as well, like you could get different benefits from that as well, not just supporting my art, but it's all up to you. So thank you for watching, and I will get back to you with the second part of describing this art process. So bye.